It's just helped us be successful, frankly. And I don't know if we would have shut down and gone out of business. I don't know if but I don't think we would have been at the place that we are. I don't think our phones would ring like they do. It's been such a positive experience. My nephew, he runs a business called Gutter Perfection, and he's actually working with one of your coaches. He's in Northwest Arkansas. We were so pleased and happy with the work that we've done with our coach. We told him about it and how he's working with you too. So
I think he's
been
blowing it up. Like I think if there's a gutter shortage in America, it's probably his fault. I mean, this guy seriously, I think he's growing dramatically.
yeah, he's great.
I'm recording this show sincerely because I know that somebody out there, you're watching this and you need more customers. You need more patients. You need more leads. You need more leads if you want to succeed. That's right. You need more leads. You need more customers. You need more people to reach out to you to buy your product or service. And I want to join you today or connect you, the listener today, to a longtime client who is a very reasonable person. He's a measured person. He won't come across as like a hyperbolic AI superstar. This is a normal guy, a great husband, a committed Christian, and he has a wonderful business that may even be of service to you. And he's going to share with you about how working with us together, he's putting in the work, we're putting in the work, how we've been able to team up together to really dramatically increase the number of leads that he's been seeing with his particular organization. Ben Story, welcome onto the Thrivetime Show. How are you, sir?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. So I got to ask you first off, how long have you worked with us? I know you probably should to black it out for mental health reasons, but how long have you worked with us there, sir?
A little over 5 years. Yeah, we started with you. We opened our practice. I wish we had started working with you when we opened. That would have saved us some heartache. But we started about 6 months in, and we've been with you for yeah, a little over 5 years now. It's been a good ride.
Now, some people out there want to verify you're real. So where can we go? What's the website? Where can we go to verify you're a real business there, sir?
Yeah, our website is myrelationshipsolutions.com.
Okay. So my relationship solutions, relationshipsolutions.com, myrelationshipsolutions.com. That's your practice. That's your business. Tell us about what are the products and services that you offer to your ideal and likely buyers, sir?
Yeah, so we are a counseling practice. We work, our biggest product, so to speak, that we provide is couples counseling. We're married couples, people that want to improve their relationship, increase their sense of connection and security in their marriage, their relationship. We also work with individuals, families. We provide workshops for couples, and we recently opened a new program called the Program for Problematic Sexual Behaviors. This is for people that are recovering from an affair or have gotten into, pornography or other things that they can't quite get out of on their own. We have a system that we help guide them through that helps them break those patterns.
Somebody out there is saying, do you have services in my area? What part of America do you service? What countries, what cities do you service there, sir?
Yeah, we're in the Arkansas River Valley, so our office is located in Fort Smith, but our counselors can serve the entire state of Arkansas through telehealth. And our problematic sexual behavior program actually is not limited to Arkansas, and so we can actually serve people across the country with that service.
Now, what I get asked all the time with my business and my service that I provide, this is our 20th year doing this. So people go to thrivetimeshow.com every day, all day, and they go there. And I think most people go there because they hear about, oh, you interviewed Guy Kawasaki, or wow, you're going to interview Grant Cardone, or oh, wow, you're the automatic millionaire guy, David Bach, or you're going to have Eric Trump, or there's some sort of shiny object that typically gets people to the site. And then a lot of times people start to say, man, I've been listening to the show for a month or a couple weeks, and you're putting out success stories every day or every week. It seems like every week there's another one. I say, yeah, well, we only work with 160 clients, but these clients, when they have success, I want to document it. I want to put it on the website, and I want to encourage other entrepreneurs. And what I hear all the time, people say, Clay, I wish I would have reached out to you 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Could you talk about what kind of lead generation support my team has provided for you in terms of what kind of results have we helped you generate specifically in the areas of creating more inbound leads from your ideal and likely buyers?
Yeah, your team actually created the generator for us. I've worked in the field for a while, so I did have some connections in the community, and I could keep my own caseload healthy and full. But when we started expanding and including other counselors to work on our team, I did not have the leads that would fill, uh, enough business to keep these people, uh, seeing clients and making money. So when we connected with you, we were struggling with leads. We were kind of limping along. We didn't have a lot of cold calls. People weren't finding us on the internet. Our website had probably zero interaction. I think we were showing up on like the 20th page of Google results. So it was not great. And what you guys did was you helped us establish a presence in Google search results. So we show up on the first page when you look up Fort Smith Counseling. You coached us through the need for referrals. So we're the highest rated and most reviewed practice in our area. Uh, I'm not sure, maybe even for the state of Arkansas. It's been a while since I looked that one up, but we've researched that with our coach Andrew before, and we rank pretty high even outside of our area. Um, you coached us through how to post pictures of our office so that this this satisfies what Google is looking for, but it also helps people know what they're walking into. So when they step into our lobby, if they've looked us up, they've already seen us online. We've gotten reviews from people that have attended our workshops, and so they're giving us glowing reviews about their experience and how their marriage benefited. And what all that has done is it's caused the phone to ring, and the phone rings and rings and rings. So we get probably an average of 20 calls a week for new customers, which is honestly all the business and maybe more of the business than we can even tackle at one time. But we are very, very busy. Our phones ring a lot, and that's thanks to what you guys have done for us with us.
Now, I got to ask you this because there's somebody on the outside who just thinks it's not for them. So I'm going to mix it up for a second, folks. I'm going to go stream of consciousness, which might not be a good thing, but here we go. So you look at a client here, you go, and I know these clients, they're all like friends of mine. Okay. So I go to new concept dot healthcare, new concept dot healthcare. And this particular couple, they have a medical clinic. And they're not based in Oklahoma. In fact, you'll find, folks, that very few of my clients are in Oklahoma. They're in South Carolina. And then someone says, yeah, I know you do well with medical practices, but what about cookie stores? And I go, well, okay. Barbie Cookies. This is a client. We helped her grow from basically a garage. She was literally officing above a garage in an attic of a friend, and we've helped her to scale this business. And you say, well, what did you do for her? Well, we did the logo, the website, the print pieces, the call scripts, worked on the performa, worked on every aspect of the business to grow. And someone says, yeah, but I'm not a cookie store. I'm a window cleaner. And I say, oh, no problem. Let's go to windowninjas.com. And someone says, what? Yeah, we work with Window Ninjas. So they clean windows. And you say, but Clay, I'm a home builder. Well, I don't know if people know this, but we've worked with shawhomes.com. Shaw Homes. This is a company we've helped them grow from $15 million to $160 million in revenue. And someone says, yeah, but I clean carpets. Well, we've worked with OxyFresh and helped them to open up 550 locations. They're in Colorado and all over the country. And someone says, yes, yes, but I happen to do real estate. I happen to be a pizzeria. And we could play this game all day. Papagallo's Pizzeria in Satellite Beach, Florida. Someone says, I know, but Clay, you don't understand. I have a t-shirt printing company. And I go, no problem. We actually work on it with a company called 918 Design Company. We've helped them to scale their business dramatically. This is 918 Design Company. They're an embroider and t-shirt printing company. And someone says, but I'm a lawyer. And I say, no problem. Did you know we work with the lawyer James, one of the most successful lawyers now in New York? Someone says, but I'm not in New York. I'm in Tulsa. Well, we work with Winters King. We've worked with him for over a decade, one of the most successful law firms in Oklahoma. And someone says, yes, but, and we keep playing that game. And you see it in counseling too. I see it in business consulting. People say, but now's not the time. But Napoleon Hill, if he were here, he can't be here because he's dead. But the best-selling author, Napoleon Hill, he said, the time will never be just right. You must act now. What would you say to somebody out there that's thinking about scheduling a free consultation with myself or getting a ticket to one of our in-person workshops?
Man, I'd say you don't have time to not do this because a lot of us, especially in an industry that we have worked in and now we're trying to run a business in that industry, that's a different job altogether. And I was pretty well trained to be a therapist, to be a counselor. I was not trained to be an entrepreneur. And I needed systems quickly because 6 months in, we were struggling with our systems. And so you're not the expert in counseling. You're the expert in the systems that we need to run this business. And so I think if you're starting a business and you're a t-shirt printer or you're a dog groomer, those are things that you're an expert at, but you really need somebody that has systems that will take your work, your business, and just fast forward it to skip you over all those hard lessons you have to learn about. You don't have to buy billboard ads, you don't have to buy all this advertising stuff. There's a system that works, and it works every time for every kind of business, and we've just seen that to be true.
So, we charge you a flat rate. I think our listeners might not know that, but I'm very clear on our podcast and broadcast for the longtime listeners. I charge clients a flat rate of $1,700 a month. I don't apologize for making a 20% profit margin. So we make roughly $340 a month per client. And what we do is it is a flat rate. So we work with your photography, your video, your web, your search engine. You and your wonderful wife, you know that the bill this month is going to be a flat rate. Could you talk about just the peace of mind of knowing? Because even in leases today, some people will lease a space and the rates go up dramatically. Some people advertise and the rates go up dramatically. Some people have a law firm or an accounting firm and the rates go up dramatically. Could you talk about the peace of mind of knowing that you're paying a flat rate for that ongoing coaching?
Yeah, it is nice because it's just we factor it into our budget. It is what it is. There's no hidden fees. There's no upsells. There's no upcharges. I can't even say this about my phone bill or my cable bill, right? Like there are always these hidden fees. And so at the end of the month, you're like, okay, what's it going to be this time? I know it's this ballpark, but I got to factor in all the extras, and there are no extras. It just is what it is, and it is consistently what we need to be successful.
Now, tracking, you've been great with this, but tracking, we have to measure what we treasure. And most entrepreneurs that I know, I mean this sincerely, almost every entrepreneur that I know, including optometrists, they don't track their metrics before we meet them. And you say, what? So I'm just giving you an example. There's one optometrist we worked with for years, helped this guy scale his business. We also worked with an ophthalmologist and helped him scale. And I'm on the phone with this ophthalmologist helping him grow his business. And I remember I'll never forget it. He tells me, he said, Clay, I have an eye chart where I track the patient's health specifically in a very detailed way where if Carl comes back in, if that patient comes back in 2 months from now or 2 years from now, I'm going to know exactly the condition of his eye when he comes back. I know my patients with specificity and detail, and I pride myself in knowing what's going on with my patients. And he says, and I have no idea where my leads are coming from. I have no idea what's working, what's not. And just by working with you, Clay, he said, I found out my magazine ads are ineffective. My billboard is a waste of time. My networking events were not effective. And he said, I now know what works and what doesn't work. And he said, it's just mind blowing to me that I'm just now having that epiphany. Could you talk to somebody out there about the importance of implementing these tracking systems?
And we were like that. We needed that accountability because you're right. We keep clinical records for the clients that we see, and every week we chart and document what work we have done, so we know where to pick up with them next week, and that there's not wasted time, wasted effort. And we were doing that. We weren't tracking our leads. We didn't know if the leads were coming from Google, if they were coming from local. We have relationships with local churches. We weren't sure if pastors were referring to us, and so this helped us not only have an idea of uh, our leads and where they were coming from, but also just how many of those leads were converting into actual clients. How many of them would be lost contacts, and we would never hear back from them again after we return their call. So this just helps, and it also helps. Right now, we're in, I think you call them the Hall of Plagues, where just at this time of year, business tends to dip. Everybody's budget and their attention is focused on Christmas and holidays and groceries or whatever. And so we weren't sure how to measure or even how to describe what was happening in our business when the phones would start to slow down, or if are they slowing down, or so this just helps us kind of begin to predict and understand the times of year and what we're up against. And we know now going into the Hall of Plagues that we need to adjust accordingly, or we just need to exhale. And in January, things will pick back up again, and we're going to be fine. We have to worry about our business surviving, thriving.
Now, implementing weekly staff meetings or recurring meetings, whether they're weekly or the
Mm-hmm.
idea of the consistency of following up, I don't think that happens by default. So, as an example, most people that plant a garden, I think they know this. If we're going to make a garden successful, we have to pull the weeds every day. If we plant a garden, we have to pull the weeds every day. We have to water the garden every day. For people that have a pet, you feed the pet every day. For people that drive a car, you change the oil on a consistent basis so your car doesn't explode. For some reason in business, we get so busy that most business owners by default don't implement weekly meetings or follow up. Could you talk about the importance of implementing those systems into your organization?
Yeah, well, how are your team members going to understand your culture, your vision, understand how your business works if you're not speaking to them, hearing from them, talking them through how to respond to different challenges and issues that come up, and that's only going to happen when you're face to face. So I know a lot of I think there are books that are written about this meeting could have been communicated through an email, and some of that is true. We don't want to waste people's time, but I need my team members to know the value of the work that we're doing. We need to celebrate the wins. We need to understand the burning fires before they get too out of control, and that happens when I am face to face with them. That happens when we are constantly describing, casting the vision for who we are and what we do and why we do it. And so, yeah, 100%. You've got to have, and again, this is about systems. It's not even just about we'll have a meeting when we need one. It's consistency, and I think employees and staff also like they just kind of fall into that rhythm, and then they just know, okay, this thing happened. We had a weird call today. I'm not sure what to do. And then they know there'll be a time that is carved out for them to be supported and responded to and guided through what to do in that situation. Everybody learns from it. Yeah.
Now, the final
Team
four areas I
good.
wanted to the final four areas I wanted to dial into. This might sound like a series of backhanded compliments, but this I'm going to just deliver it, and you'll see what you are the therapist, so you might be able to tell me what I'm doing here. All I know is that there are certain clients I work with who overhype themselves. They overhype themselves. There are certain clients I work with that overhype, and so there are certain restaurants I've worked with in the past where they say, "Clay, my business is the best kept secret in my community. And if you could help me market that thing, baby, I could blow this thing up." Then I start to see bad reviews flying in, and I have to be the one who tells the customer, Mr. Client, have you seen the reviews? It appears as though the people that are using your restaurant for the first time, that are visiting your restaurant for the first time, are systemically not wowed. And they go, what? And there's almost like a star in their mind. They're like a celebrity in their mind. They're super successful. Their quality is great in their mind, but it's not true in reality. You're the other way. You guys, when we started working with you, I remember thinking to myself, every patient that you follow up with and ask them to record an objective testimonial, they love you guys. People go on and on about how you changed their lives. When you ask people to leave you an objective Google review from your real clients, people leave you the most incredible life-changing reviews. And you guys were guilty of not banging your own drum, tooting your own horn, hyping yourself up. Could you talk about that? Because I think when we asked you to gather objective reviews from real customers, it may have changed your life, but I think it was also maybe against what you would naturally do in terms of not wanting to hype your own company.
Yeah, I think if I'm understanding the question, I'm a sucker, Clay, and I would give everything away, and it's a problem. And so, yeah, I didn't. It was really hard for me to my workshop attendees. We're not ethically allowed. Our board won't allow us to ask for client reviews of people that see us for counseling, but we can ask our workshop attendees. And I would cringe because I want to be somebody that gives more than I take, and it was really hard for me to ask for people to step up and give me that review. And then, yeah, it was so encouraging, so mind blowing that they would go to such great lengths to say the things that they did about what we meant to their marriage and their lives. So I've already forgotten the question. Tell me what you were asking
Well,
again.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like that has impacted your business a lot, gathering
Yeah,
objective reviews from real conference attendees. And I think that by default, you probably would have never done it. But
no,
I
we would.
believe that because I don't think that you had in your natural character, your natural DNA, you're not the kind of guy that would go to your customers and say, "Hey, could you leave us a review?" But by
Right.
doing that, I would argue it's turbocharged your lead flow, and maybe you disagree on that.
No, because those testimonials, people see that they see in the Google reviews, they see that feedback, and we get calls and they say, "I just read so many, I watched so many positive things about you. I want to work with Ben and Tanya. You guys are those reviews, that feedback is a big part of the calls in the new business that we get.
By the way, is Tanya a Tonia or a TonyA?
She's a YA.
Okay, she spells it the right way. I just want to make sure. Taking notes here, folks. We got you worry about the Tanyas with the IA. I'm just messing with you,
Yeah.
folks. Okay, final three questions for you. Onboarding new employees. That's a big
Yeah.
thing in a business like yours. I mean, you hold yourself to a high standard. You want to make sure you offer incredible care.
Yeah.
Therefore, you have to have a turnkey process for onboarding new people. Could you talk about how we've been able to help you create an onboarding process?
Yeah, just systems again. So there's a certain we have a handbook that we've created. We walk clients through and train them about who we are, what we do, how we do it. We make it very clear what our expectations are, um, and then we actually have them sign off and say that they understand because who we are and how we present ourselves to the community. We want it to be uniform and consistent, and that includes the people that work at our front desk and answer the phones, or the people that are sitting with clients and taking care of them in the therapy room.
Final two questions. Here we go. With a business like yours, having a weekly meeting, I would argue if you're out there today and you want to get in shape, I can tell you for anybody out there watching, anytime in my life, pre a Reawaken America tour and now post Reawaken America tour, anytime I'm serious about getting in shape, I have a personal trainer or a partner that I work out with, and somebody that will A, push me to be my best, somebody B, who knows what they're talking about, and somebody who can help me, someone who can help me implement. What am I saying? Someone again who can push me to be my best, that actually is more successful in that area than I am. To somebody who can really push me to be successful by being accountable, and then somebody who knows the proven path. Could you talk about the value of having a weekly meeting with a coach, or we call them internally implementers, but can you talk about the value of having that weekly meeting and that consistency in your life of somebody who really deeply cares about you becoming successful?
Yeah, I think this is a lot about when we were working with people who have kind of hangups about going to a counselor. The Summer Olympics this year, every one of those premier world class athletes had a coach, and nobody felt bad about it. Nobody was ashamed of it. You've got to have somebody in your corner that's watching you from the outside. That's what counseling does, and that's what the weekly call with Andrew, our coach, is about. He's asking us questions. He's reflecting. He's making sure that we are following the systems. And it's not always even about like we got lazy. It's just you've got to have somebody that helps you stay on track, stay focused, stay targeted. That's what this does. And we love Andrew, by the way. We call him the Mountain Dew, D-O. He's in my phone as the Mountain. We love that guy.
That's great. I'll make sure he hears this. Now, final question I would have here for you. Again, there's somebody on the outside of the website, and I see this all the time. I mean, this wonderful lady, Margaret, I just talked to her yesterday, and she says, it's changed my life. And I know it changes people's lives, and I've been doing the same thing for since 2005. So, I mean, I have a system, I have a process. We've been doing these workshops for 20 years. We document the success stories. We offer a free consultation. We do workshops, and we have scholarship ticket pricing to make it affordable for everybody. What do you say to somebody out there about the impact that the coaching experience has had on your business and your life?
Yeah, that's really hard to put into a simple answer. Yeah, it's just helped us be successful, frankly. And I don't know if we would have shut down and gone out of business. I don't know if but I don't think we would have been at the place that we are. I don't think our phones would ring like they do. It's been such a positive experience. My nephew, he runs business called Gutter Perfection, and he's actually working with one of your coaches. He's in Northwest Arkansas. We were so pleased and happy with the work that we've done with our coach. We told him about it and how he's working with you too. So
I think he's blowing it up. Like, I think if there's a gutter shortage in America, it's probably his fault. I mean, this guy, seriously, I think he's growing dramatically.
Yeah, he's great. And a lot of his success, he's a go-getter, but you guys have helped supercharge him, and it's been fun to watch.
Hey, thank you so much for your time. I really do believe that time is your most important asset. So thank you for carving out time for us, and we'll talk to you soon, Ben.
Thanks for all you do.
All right, say hello to Tanya. Bye-bye.
Will do.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Okay, Aaron Antis, March 6th and 7th. March 6th and 7th, guess who's coming to Tulsa, Jerusalem?
Ooh, Santa Claus?
No, that's March. March 6th and 7th, We're going to be joined by Robert Kiyosaki.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Probably the best-selling, or one of the best-selling business authors of all time. And he's going to be joined with Eric Trump. He'll be joined by Eric Trump. So we got Eric Trump and Robert Kiyosaki in the same place.
In the same place.
Aaron, why should everybody show up to hear Robert Kiyosaki?
Well, you got billions of dollars of business experience between those two, not to mention many, many, many millions of books have been sold. Many, many millionaires have been made from the books that have been sold by Robert Kiyosaki. I happen to be one of them. I learned from the man. He was the inspiration. That book was the inspiration for me to get the entrepreneurial spirit, as many other people.
Now, since you won't brag on yourself, I will. You've sold billions of dollars of houses, am I correct?
That is true.
And the book that kickstarted it all for you,
Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the author, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, the guy that kickstarted your career.
Yeah.
He's going to be here.
He's going to be here. I'm pumped.
And now Eric Trump, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States and soon to be the 47th president of these United States, he needed someone to run the companies for him. And so the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint. Right. I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last, pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second. Would you buy a ticket just to see Robert Kiyosaki and Eric Trump? Of course you would.
Of course you would.
But we're also going to be joined by Sean Baker. This is the best-selling author, the guy who invented the carnivore diet.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Sean Baker. He's been on Joe Rogan multiple times. He's going to be joining us. So you've got Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Eric Trump, Sean Baker. The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that, is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here. With the most people we've ever had in this building was for the Jim Brewer presentation. Jim Brewer came here, the legendary comedian Jim Brewer came to Tulsa, and we had 419 people that were here. 419 people.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, there's no more room. I felt kind of bad that if a couple people had VIP seats, in the men's restroom. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But I thought, you know what? We should probably add on. So we're adding on what we call the upper deck, or the top shelf. So the seats are very close to the presenters, but we're actually building right now. We're adding on to the facility to make room to accommodate about another 30 attendees or more. So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody, don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people that attend these conferences, and so to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrive Time Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard. And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch and to make it entertaining when you're stretching. This is a true story. When you get up and stretch, you'll be greeted by mariachis.
Sure.
There's going to probably be alpaca here, llamamas, helicopter rides, a coffee bar, a snow cone. There's just
You had a crocodile one time. That was pretty interesting.
I should write that down and I can do that.
Sorry for that one guy that we lost.
The crocodile, we duct taped its face so that we duct taped.
No, it was a baby crocodile.
And it was duct tape.
Duct tape around the mouth so it didn't bite anybody. But it was really cool passing that thing around and
I should do that. We have a small petting zoo that will be assembled. It's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business.
That's tough.
But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet. And then you add to that Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You add to that Eric Trump, the man that runs the Trump Organization. You add to that Sean Baker. Now you might say, but Clay, is there more? I need more. Well, okay, Tom Wheelwright is the wealth strategist for Robert Kiyosaki. So people say, Robert Kiyosaki, who's his financial wealth advisor? Who's the guy who manages, who's his wealth strategist? His wealth strategist, Tom Wheelwright, will be here. And you say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch. It's Ted Escondido's, an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. And Jill Donovan, our good friend, who is the founder of Rustic Cuff. She started that company in her home, and now she sells millions of dollars of apparel and products. That's rusticcuff.com. And someone says, I want more. This is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay. I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we've got one guy who's given me a verbal to be here. And this is a guy who's one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma, and nobody really knows who he is because he's built systems that are very utilitarian, that offer a lot of value. He's made a lot of money in it's where you rent. It's short term. It's where you're renting storage spaces. He's a storage space guy. He owns what do you call that? The rental,
storage space.
Storage units. This guy owns storage units. He owns railroad cars. He owns a lot of assets that make money on a daily basis, but they're not like customer facing. Most people don't know who owns the mini storage facility, or most people don't know who owns the warehouse that's passively making money. Most people don't know who owns the railroad cars, but this guy, he's given me a verbal that he will be here, and we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event. Again, the day here is March 6th and 7th. March 6th and 7th, we just got confirmation. Robert Kiyosaki, best-selling author, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he'll be here. Eric Trump, the man who leads the Trump Organization. It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. I think that's going to change your life. I promise you, this will be 10 times better than that.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. That is, I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. I mean, it is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right, really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I promise you it will be a life-changing experience. We can't wait to see you right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma.